What if everything you believe is a lie? What if the world you see, the values you hold, the facts you trust, are nothing more than illusions, shadows on a wall? Would you dare to question it? Would you risk comfort for clarity? Would you trade safety for truth? Over 2,000 years ago, a man named Plato posed those exact questions. Not with slogans, not with swords, but with ideas, powerful enough to shake the very foundations of human thought. Plato wasn't just a philosopher. He was a seeker, a challenger of appearances, a relentless hunter of the truth, in a world addicted to deception. This is the story of that search. This is the journey of Plato and the pursuit of truth. Plato was born in Athens around 427 BCE, a city flourishing with democracy, art, and ambition, but also drowning in corruption, instability, and war. He was a student of Socrates, a man who wandered the streets asking uncomfortable questions. Socrates never claimed to know the truth, only to know that he didn't know. That single confession changed Plato's life, because it exposed something few people ever realize: that most of us are content with second-hand knowledge. We mistake opinion for wisdom. We confuse what is popular with what is true. For Plato, that wasn't just a personal problem, it was a civilizational crisis. So he began his life's work to uncover a deeper, more eternal layer of reality. At the heart of Plato's philosophy lies a bold and beautiful idea: the theory of forms. According to Plato, the physical world is not the true world. It's only a copy, a pale reflection of a higher reality. Take a circle, for example. You can draw one in the sand, but it's never perfect. The edges are flawed. The line is uneven. Yet, in your mind, you can imagine a perfect, flawless circle. Where does that perfection come from? Plato says it comes from the world of forms, an invisible, timeless realm where everything exists in its purest state. There is a form of beauty, a form of justice, a form of goodness, and countless others. Eternal blueprints of truth, untouched by time or change. The world we live in, it's a shadow, a sketch, a broken mirror reflecting a higher, more perfect reality. Plato didn't just explain his ideas, he dramatized them. His most famous metaphor, the allegory of the cave, is more than philosophy, it's a wake-up call. Imagine prisoners chained inside a cave. They've been there since birth, staring at a wall. Behind them, a fire casts shadows of objects moved by unseen puppeteers. Those shadows are all the prisoners have ever seen. They believe the shadows are reality. Now imagine one prisoner is freed. He turns painfully and sees the fire. He climbs out of the cave and is blinded by the sun. But as his eyes adjust, he begins to see. He sees the real world. Trees, mountains, the sky. And he realizes the cave was a lie. But when he returns to tell the others, they reject him. They fear him. They threaten to kill him. Plato believed that we are those prisoners, chained by ignorance, by comfort, by tradition. The cave is society. The shadows are opinions. And the journey out, that is philosophy. For Plato, the search for truth begins with a clear distinction between doxa, opinion, and episteme, true knowledge. Opinions change. They're shaped by culture, emotion, power. But knowledge, true knowledge, is unchanging, grounded in reason and directed toward the eternal forms. In his dialogues, Plato uses the character of Socrates to question everyone: politicians, poets, craftsmen. Each one believes they know, and each one is gently, or not so gently, exposed as mistaken. But this wasn't arrogance. It was humility in its highest form. To seek truth, Plato teaches, we must first accept that we are wrong, that we are blind, that we must learn to turn our souls, not just our eyes, toward the light. Above all forms, Plato says, there is one that rules them all, the form of the good. It is the cause of all being, all knowledge, and all truth. It is the sun in the allegory of the cave, that which makes everything visible and intelligible. But the good is not a god, nor an emotion, nor a moral rule. It is beyond being, the source of reality itself. To know the good is to know what is truly worth living for. To align your soul not with pleasure or power, but with truth itself. In the Republic, Plato imagines a just society led by philosopher kings, those who have climbed out of the cave, seen the sun, and returned to guide others. Why philosophers? Because only they love truth more than appearance. Only they seek wisdom, not wealth or fame. But Plato also knew how rare such people are. Most prefer the cave, most mock the light. Still, he believed it was the duty of the few to lead the many, to educate, to inspire, to plant seeds of truth, even in hostile soil. Plato's search for truth was not abstract. It was personal, urgent. It was a fire that burned in his soul. And now, it's your turn. Ask yourself, are you content with shadows? Or do you want to see what lies beyond them? Are you willing to question, to doubt, to climb, even when it hurts? Even when it costs you everything? Plato never promised that truth would be easy. He only promised that it would be worth it. Because to know the truth is to know yourself. And to know yourself is to begin the only journey that truly matters.